Welcome to Wide Open Adventures, guys. Sorry, not Wide Open Adventures, Abnormal Investigations. I was working on Wide Open Adventures. Got another encounter for you guys today. It's going to be a one that comes out of Oklahoma, and it's a place that I actually would like to visit. This place has a lot of dark history. I've never been there. I believe that the Wolf Lady has actually either been there or knows a whole lot about this place. But it's a place I do plan on visiting, exploring, and investigating. Mike, I have an encounter for you that you will never forget, and it happened in Oklahoma at the Parralell Forest. I have worked as a warden all my life. I'm retired now. Let me tell you, that place is full of evil and would be a great boots on the ground for you. I was in routine patrol one night when I received a call. They advised me that some campers in the Parralell Forest were being followed by a dangerous animal. I got the coordinates and went to their location. When I arrived, they had a story to tell me, and let me tell you, it gets deep. They told me while they was hiking in, they heard something following them. It was heavy and snorting. I figured it was probably a wild pig. I've spent my life patrolling the woods, but one encounter in Oklahoma's Parralell Forest still haunts me. Like I said, I'm retired now. I'll share this unforgettable encounter with you. It was a routine night patrol when a call came in about campers being stalked by a dangerous animal. I rushed to their location, ready for a typical wildlife encounter. But what they told me kind of bothered me. They described hearing heavy footsteps and snorting while they were hiking in. I initially thought it was a wild boar, but what happened next would change my mind and my thoughts on things in the woods forever. The ground was damp from the rains we had had. I went and looked around their camp. I found their footsteps and followed them. At first, it was just their normal trail until I found what appeared to be very large feet prints that were barefoot. I thought they were for sure playing a prank on me. I returned and told them that I had found what they were talking about, and they looked scared. I told them to call me if they needed me. This was Saturday night. I followed the camper's trail, my eyes scanning the damp ground until I stumbled upon something that made their heart and my heart almost stop. Massive barefoot footprints appeared alongside their smaller tracks. I thought it was a prank, but the fear etched on the campers' faces when I told them what I had found made me reconsider. I warned them to call me if they needed anything, and I told them they really shouldn't stay in the forest tonight. But they were hell-bent on it, and I had another call that I had to take care of, so I left, thinking it was just a strange anomaly. But as I drove away, a sense of unease settled in. Little did I know this would only be the beginning. Sunday morning, I received a frantic call from the campers. It's back. It's watching us. I rushed back to the campsite on high alert. When I arrived, they was all scared, and they said they heard growling all night long. I noticed that they had scraps all over the place. I told them to clean up the area and things should get better. I went over proper food disposal and storage. I also told them that they should maybe call it a trip. They wanted to stay one more night. At this point, I admit, I was getting very frustrated with them. They were calling me over and over, but they refused to take any advice. I arrived to find the campers terrified. The next morning, recounting a night of eerie growling sounds, the campsite was a mess, scraps of food scattered everywhere. I knew that was a recipe for disaster. I instructed them to clean it up immediately, hoping to tidy the campsite would help alleviate the tension. But as I looked into their fearful eyes, I knew it was more than just a mess. I advised them to pack up and head home, but they were determined to stay one more night. I couldn't force them to leave, but I made sure they knew I'd be back to check on them the next morning. I was visibly frustrated, I'm sure they could tell. As I left, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. The growling, the massive footprints, the fear in their eyes, it all added up to something, but I wasn't sure what was in the Parralell forest. I'd only heard stories up until this point. I returned to my truck. Little did I know, the night was far from over. Monday morning, we got a call that they was missing. After a short manhunt, we found 2 of the campers and 1 missing one. They said that they were chased out of camp by something large, by something running on 2 feet, and they had ran all night and they got lost in the forest. I found a large pile of what appeared to be human poop. It had a ring in it, a class ring. We took the ring as evidence. The ring belonged to the other camper. Monday morning, a sense of dread settled over as we received a call that the campers had reported several times to the local police department, besides me, that they were being stalked by something. We took the ring as evidence, but we knew that the ring was more than just a piece of jewelry. It was a sign of something going terribly wrong. Something had taken the camper, leaving behind a gruesome trail. I couldn't shake the feeling that we were dealing with one of the many stories that come from these evil forests in Oklahoma. We never located the missing camper, and is still missing to this day. They blame it on him getting lost or a rogue bear, which we don't have. Something is going on in these woods, and I'm glad, honestly, to be retired. The case of the missing camper remains a haunting mystery to this day. Despite our efforts, we never found him. The official explanation was that he got lost or was taken by a rogue bear, but I know the truth. Something else was in those woods that took him that night. Some say the forest is cursed. Others say that it's a portal to another realm is inside of there. I don't know what to believe, but I do know that some places are better left unexplored. The Parralell forest is one of them. We get many reports from them every year. People go missing, some people are never found, and others are found deceased for unknown reasons. Mike, there is things in these woods and in these forests that we do not understand, that are not in the textbooks and are not taught to us in school. I think it's better to stay on the beaten path, because there is things out there waiting for you that we don't even understand. You know, I would have to agree with him 100% on that, but when I heard about the ring and the poop, I couldn't help but wonder to myself, was that guy actually eaten by this thing and it passed him? That was the first thing I thought of. I don't know if they would have took the samples of the scat or whatever, but if you find a ring in a pile of poop and the guy's missing and he ain't never found, I think that would be one of the first places that you would start to look. I thank you very much for sharing this encounter. We've had a lot of retired wardens send in encounters. I really enjoy those. Thank you so much for sending that in. Don't forget, guys, Saturday night at 8:45 Central Standard Time, we'll be having a premiere release. We're going to have Jen is going to be doing a recording with us actually Friday, and we're going to be doing a recording with her, releasing it as a premiere. I believe it's going to be a very good premiere. I'm excited to meet her and to be able to interview her, and I look forward to spending it with you guys in the chat Saturday night at 8:45 p.m. Thank you all so much for your time. Thank you for smashing that like button and all the support that you give us, and for supporting me for the boots on the ground tonight. It's a pretty crazy one. It got pretty scary, and honestly, I don't like that place. Keep your head on a swivel, guys. Don't become something's dinner, and we'll see you on the next one.